I said from this chair over and over and over again that be careful. Do not let the Buffalo Bills in the tournament.
I heard you.
I said it over and over again. And a team that started the streak for the Buffalo Bills, that built the momentum and the win streak that they brought into divisional playoff weekend, was the original team that started to allow them into the tournament. That's the Kansas City Chiefs. Kadarius Toney's foot being offsides started the Buffalo Bills momentum that they kept on building on, and then survived a couple of iffy moments, as everybody must, in late December, early January, but they kept winning and stacking wins. And that Kadarius Toney foot was also part of a narrative that the Kansas City Chiefs most certainly would not repeat as Super Bowl champions this year because of the offense. Talk about flipping a narrative on its head. The Chiefs' offense was out of sync. Too many drops, too many guys letting Mahomes down, to the point where my point was, after Kansas City lost to Buffalo and Mahomes went all crazy on the officiating in the moment at the post-game podium and totally lost his mind in a way I've never seen him lose his mind, go up to Josh Allen at the post-game quarterbacks dapping each other up moment and bitch at him about the officiating. You know, telling another quarterback, essentially, we were robbed, is something you never see, and certainly never from Mahomes. And I said, that's just him directing his anger at wrong places, because the right place is something he can't direct it at, and that's his teammates. That's where we were the last time these two teams met and had gone their separate ways, with all of us wondering, will they meet again? And sure enough, the football gods had them meet again, and had them meet in Buffalo, New York. And the narrative of this game was Josh Allen and the Bills would finally exorcise their demons against the Chiefs, who they'd never beaten in the playoffs in the Mahomes era. Last time they beat the Chiefs in the playoffs was when Joe Montana was their quarterback in '93. That they would finally get past, because they have the Chiefs in their house, and the Chiefs have never been in anyone else's house for a true road playoff game. Mahomes' first, his 16th career playoff game, and the first one on the road. And that was the narrative, that this would have to be the time, right? Where the offensive inefficiencies would cost Mahomes, right? Even I went on game day morning and I picked the Bills, and you could see it in my face when I was doing it. I'm thinking to myself, am I really going to choose against the defending Super Bowl champions right now? And I did. And I was wrong. I was wrong because this guy on the screen, number 15, is the best in the NFL at the position that we have seen in a very long time, and he is still alive in the playoffs because he's Patrick Mahomes. And Mahomes and the Chiefs are still defending Super Bowl champions, because the switch that we were all wondering if they could even find, let alone flip, has officially been flipped. 8 plays of 20 or more yards in the game. At one point in the fourth quarter, the CBS broadcast flashed on the screen that Mahomes had more 20 or more yard pass plays than incompletions. And Travis Kelce is also going to go home to Ohio one day and be enshrined in Canton. The two of them connected on 2 more touchdowns in this game. They passed Gronk and Brady for the most connections for scores between a quarterback and receiver in the history of the playoffs. Now 4 clear of Montana and Jerry Rice, one clear of Brady and Gronk. And they've got Pacheco, and they've got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and they've got Rashee Rice, the rookie, who is ascending, and they've got a defense that is championship quality. And that's what I wasn't thinking about. I mean, deep down, I was deep-seated. I'm like, but I thought to myself, how in the world can the Bills lose this game? And they did. And we'll discuss that later on. But the Chiefs went into Western New York, created damn near a turnover on the first snap of the game. Took Josh Allen's best punches from that opening drive, resulting in points for Buffalo, not a touchdown, just 3. The 2-minute drive at the end of the first half by Buffalo was aggressive and dynamic and everything that the 49ers' first half ending drive on Saturday night against the Packers wasn't, and we'll discuss that later on. Took that hit from Allen, wound up losing the lead. Lead changes galore in this game, and the Chiefs in Western New York went ahead and quieted the crowd and ruined the party. And they're now moving on to Baltimore for the AFC Championship game. Mahomes' 6th in a row. Every single season in which he has been the starting quarterback full-time, he makes the AFC Championship game. Unbelievable. And I was saying the other day, I think it was Wednesday's show, I started like, it's the first time we're going to see Mahomes in a new role as road playoff villain. How is he going to handle that? I should have seen through. Even asking the question, I knew he would perform well, but like the 18 weeks of offensive inefficiencies didn't exist. And I should have known that he's just one of those red asses deep down who's going to take this as a challenge. This is what he had to say after the game about that challenge.
Yeah, I think guys took it as a challenge. Obviously, I'll say that we played in the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. We lost that one. I didn't like to bring that one up, but we've played basically road playoff games before. We just come in with the same mindset. If we're going to come together, put our best foot forward, and see if we can come out with a win. And that takes the mentality throughout the week. It takes every single play executing. And we did a great job of that today, and we're able to score enough to win.
He may be Jordan-esque, guys, not just in his play and ripping your heart out and showing it to you pumping, but creating narratives that don't exist. I was at that Super Bowl in Tampa. There were cardboard cutouts in the stands, surrounded by select human beings that were allowed to be in the building.
It was half full, right? Yeah.
And many of them were Chiefs fans, by the way.
Yeah. So.
All masked up. I could still see they were Chiefs fans before I left the building. I don't know what he's talking about there. But he's Mahomes. We're just rent payers in his world right now. Damn straight we are. Guys, you take a look at what he is doing right now. That was his 13th career playoff win. That matches the career marks of Brett Favre and Ben Roethlisberger. He's several years shy of 30.
He's ahead of Brady's pace.
He's one behind the most career playoff win. This is on the career playoff win list in playoff history. He's now, if he wins the AFC Championship game, he would tie Peyton Manning, John Elway, and Terry Bradshaw with 14. Yeah. And if he wins the Super Bowl, he would be above those guys and in third place all time, one behind Joe Montana. Then 20 behind Tom Brady, which just shows you again how crazy it is. But in order to catch Brady, you've got to do what he's doing right now, like do stuff like Brady used to do, like go into places like Buffalo and tell them all, great season you're having, but not today.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Again.
Cancun.
And you have to wonder this. And deep down in the recesses of the minds of the out of their minds, rightfully so, Ravens fans out there, because of how well they're playing, And everybody that they've knocked off this season, including a team that they could see in the Super Bowl in San Francisco. But deep down in the recesses of their minds, I think they wanted Buffalo walking into their building, even on a winning streak, because Mahomes and Kelsey and Reed walking into that building as defending Super Bowl champs, playing with unbelievably house money. You know, I got to say it in an upward register, because can we really say a defending Super Bowl champ is playing with house money? Because they're the ones that have been stumbling around for much of the season, and the Ravens are the one seeds who just boat raced the Houston Texans in the second half after beating the Miami Dolphins and then smoking the San Francisco 49ers and taking on all comers, but one team they didn't play this year. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. And in they come next week with them feeling completely restored and revitalized. Yeah, the Bills made mistakes, and we will talk about them as they got terrorized again by another missed field goal that, for them, could have at least gone left. But the Chiefs survive and advance, which is all you need to do. And it is the 5th season in a row in which Patrick Mahomes has won multiple playoff games, which is the longest streak of all time. 2 better than Tom Brady, Brett Favre, and Bart Starr. It's the only active streak, clearly. And that's how they come into Baltimore next week. And we thought the Chiefs wouldn't flip the switch. Lights are on. And it doesn't matter if they're home, does it? And next week, they stroll into Baltimore with a whole bunch of momentum. Taylor Swift and a grizzly bear who will probably not be wearing a shirt, clutching a beer.
Many beers.
Several. What a circus that is coming to Baltimore. And it is awesome, and it is remarkable to behold, and it could be dynastic. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.